Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Mindset Boost. I'm Jani Loubser. I'm a clinical psychologist, and I'm also the host of the weekly Mindset Boost. The reason why I'm doing this every week is because I really believe that all of us need an opportunity at least once a week where we just have time, where we can reflect on our week and really just first of all, become aware of any challenges that we are facing. Give it some space, give it some attention, and especially work through anything so that you can move through the rest of your week with just a little bit of more energy, more focus and more clarity, and even more lightness. I created a method that I use when I work with my clients in their intensive sessions. And this method is like a 9-part method. It's not a step-by-step method, but a very important step in that method would always be to do thought work. You can watch the 3-part series on the More method also on my channel. But today I want to focus again more on the thought work aspect of it, because really I believe that we need to take responsibility for our thoughts so that we can become aware of the stories that we tell ourselves about ourselves that are limiting us and also have a negative impact on our mental health. I distinguish between 4 types of thought work I've identified when I work with clients. The one is to do trigger work, to work through triggers. Okay? So trigger is usually quite an activating experience. You usually know that you are triggered. The body will have certain reactions, the mind will be very busy, and emotionally there will definitely be a charge. So it's quite an active reaction that you have. Then secondly, there's almost the opposite of a trigger, and that is where we experience resistance. That's where you feel maybe frozen or complete avoidance. Procrastination will fall into that. So something that you are avoiding or resisting doing. So it's more like a frozen, shutdown, no action experience. And a third type of thought work is shadow work. So your shadow is really anything that you've learned that is unacceptable. It can even be good things that you still feel that is unacceptable, but it's things that can create quite shame and embarrassment about ourselves. And then fourthly, the last one is the inner child kind of work, thoughts related to our developmental phases and the developmental phases during childhood where we didn't maybe get exactly what we needed, especially around attachment. That can still play a role in our day-to-day, especially in our relationships today. So that's where things like feeling alone or feeling rejected, feeling not good enough. So more all the thoughts and feelings around ourselves, especially in the way that it plays out in other people, that will be related to inner child work. So triggers, resistances. Third one is shadow work, and then fourthly, inner child work. Of course, they can also overlap, but I hope that this can give you a little bit of clarity when you are aware that you're facing a challenge, and that once you can identify more clearly, okay, this is what it is. This is a trigger, or sure, it's really the inner child work that needs to happen for me this week. And it can just empower yourself a bit more. So let's just reflect maybe on a situation that you are dealing with this week. You can close your eyes. Just bring up in your mind's eye any difficult situation that you are dealing with this week. And just allow it to be there fully. And just observe yourself. And remember, when we observe ourselves, it is with compassion, non-judgmental behavior. Notice physically what is happening inside of you. Do you notice that there is quite an activation? Or is it more a frozen state, more a resistance that you're feeling in the body? Maybe it is more a feeling of like a embarrassed or a shame feeling. Often that is more related to the belly, the gut feeling, or even in the face. Or maybe it's just quite an anxious feeling specifically related to someone else in your life, so that it's possibly more an inner child experience. And see if you can also just start to identify the emotions that are present. Can be guilt, shame, anger, can be sadness, loneliness. Can be fear. And then we're curious about what it is that you are believing in this situation. It can be a belief about yourself or about the other person or the specific situation. It can be a belief around safety, something that's making you feel quite insecure. Thoughts like, I'm not good enough, or I'm going to fail, I won't be able to do it. And fear can be around not having enough, or not being able to be enough or do enough. Can be around the fear of losing something or someone. So the first step always when we do thought work is to be able to create space for it, and that's what we've done now, and then to calm the nervous system. So just with whatever that you have realized now, just breathing with it. And a simple way with breathing is just to allow the stomach muscles to relax. And then just focusing on the rise and fall of the stomach. And just notice how you're feeling now compared to when you started working with this situation. If you're feeling calmer, less charged, maybe a bit more hopeful, then you can open your eyes. But if you feel that there's still more calming that needs to be done, then maybe just pause the video so that you can just continue to do that. Okay, so you may be wondering why bother with this? Why is this important? Well, hopefully now when you reflected on this situation and observed yourself, you could also recognize the turmoil that it can throw one into. It can really take over your week. From a neurobiological point of view, it really takes up a lot of energy to resist something, to continue to press something down or to avoid something, or an activation where you're trying to figure something out, or you just can't leave something alone in your mind, it takes up a lot of energy. So when we create space for it, then we can start to work with it in a more active way, and it's really empowering for us instead of swirling around in that experience. Once we can do that, we can maybe get to a solution. We can realize like we need to reach out to someone, or we realize that we need to work out a plan of action so that we are less resistant, for example. So the part, once we have calmed down the nervous system, really worked with the situation, then there is an action that can happen in the form of a plan of action. It doesn't have to be a big thing even. It can be that, goodness, I think I really need to get out of it. I really need to go for a walk even, or I need to rest. I hope that this was helpful. Please join us again next week. We'll continue the thought work, and have a good week. Bye-bye.